Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Bookish Artist Mandy, and I'm coming finally after like a week, 2-week hiatus. I'm back with my one Saturday morning video, and I cannot tell you how overjoyed I am to be back here talking all things that are happening in my art stationery life, and we are going to rock it. Grab your journals, grab your drinks. I have coffee with Starbucks sugar cookie latte, or the sugar cookie almond milk, oat milk creamer, and frothed steamed milk. Oh, so excited. I have been missing my coffee. We will get into that. But I'm here. I am ready to chat, and I hope you are too. Yeah, there's so much going on, but my brain is trying to process, and let's get started. All right. I took a sip of my coffee, sorry. How has your week been? My week has been a little crazy. I have been in quite a bit of pain, so this might be a little bit of morbid humor when I talk about this quick. I got a mouth infection from my mouth guard. I thought I was cleaning it the way that the doctor told me. I followed the directions every single day, but apparently you can still get thrush, and that's what I got. It's been a mess, but it's okay. Like, I am on antibiotics and I'm almost done, but I couldn't eat for like 3 days, and it was awful, and it was so painful. But my mouth guard is a new thing that I got back in just a couple months ago, because I started clenching my teeth and my jaw started hurting so badly. And this was a new thing, and I broke a tooth over the summer because of clenching. At least it was just a crown, but I still broke one. And the reason I started clenching my jaw was grief because of my dad. So I'm blaming my dad, who is no longer here, on the fact that I got a mouth infection. You know, just a little humor. Anyway, yeah. So it's been a week. I've been so tired fighting this infection and not being able to have energy to sleep that I haven't really done a whole lot. So it's kind of been weird. And yeah, but I did want to share, I have been just having a lot of fun. If you saw my video earlier this week, I did do a tour of my last one of these traveler's notebooks, and I'm already at the halfway point in this one, and that's this month. Yeah, I've just been enjoying it. I've been playing with taking, I don't know, so many things. Like this is a picture of my dad. I think did I share this? I don't know if I did. It's been that long. Yeah, so let's start talking about some of the stuff in here. Yeah, because I think this was it. This was the last bit I talked about, was down here. But yeah, I found a picture of my dad while I was cleaning, and it was painful. Today, my uncle is coming down from his town to give us pictures that he had of my dad, so that's going to be tough. And so I'm just having a tough time. The first Christmas, I've been told, is really tough, and my friend who lost her dad 2 years ago says the second Christmas isn't any better. So we've been kind of leaning on each other. This is my best childhood friend, so she, joined the club first, but also it's been really comforting, as much as it sucks, to have her in my corner to walk through this with. But I have been studying comics and subtle shapes, and I've talked a little bit about it if you've been watching my ink videos. I have been playing with all these different shapes and designs. I've been really, really into Charlie Brown for the last few weeks. I actually was able to grab some books from the library. KU, Kindle Unlimited, if you don't know, KU has a bunch of the comics as well. So I've just been studying it and playing with it. But one of the things that I have been noticing that I've been doing is I have one of those pads of Midori cotton paper, and I have been drawing on it a lot. And I don't know if it's because it's loose leaf or what, but I really like that it has a little bit of texture, but fountain pen colors look so great. I have it right here. This is the piece, but in my last journal, I had a Kakimori ink that I got, and I put it on here. I'm trying to clean this off too as I'm talking, because I don't love those scraggly bits, but sometimes I find that the pages don't want to come off the adhesive, which is always a bummer. But this is the Midori pad, the MD paper. This is 100%, or is it 100% cotton? I don't know. It's MD cotton, either way. And I like it, so I've been doodling on it quite a bit, or just doing like color swatches and whatnot. And I decided that I was going to cut out the little pieces that I've done, because I loved the way this little character turned out. She's a version of my princess that I'm playing in my princess game. And so, yeah. And I got some new Tono and Limbs ink. Can you tell I love pink? I do. If you look at my collection of pens, I have quite a pink collection. But I got Thinking of Lotus. This, on their website, and on the bottle it says Lotus Thoughts. So it's just a matter of, what do you call it? Translation. And I was playing with some more peanuts. So I did this stuff. This is all with Terrori by Kakimori. But what was really fun is I was watching it and seeing simplified. And this was a redraw of an observation of my son's like lobby for his therapy. I just love the way they have it decorated. It's very modern. I don't know. And so I decided to try to simplify the shapes and flatten it like I've been studying. And then I did that with my kitchen. So this is like my fridge and my air fryer and my stove and my microwave. I think it turned out kind of fun. But yeah, so I'm trying to do that, playing still with like the two or three color type deal. This was a Sailor Shikiori pen. I've been quite enamored with them. I don't have them all, and I don't need them all. Say it again with me. I don't have them all, and I don't need them all, but I want them all. These are the ones. These. I really like these. They're great. But I also have quite a few of the Shikiori inks, and I can use them in my Tom Studio markers. So I'm telling myself I don't need them all. And then the lovely Kristen Creates sent me my Inkmas package, so we did an ink exchange, and hers finally arrived. I don't know what's going on with shipping. I have never experienced shipping like this. I used to worry about this time of the year, and I would lose packages when I was sending out all the stuff for doll clothing, but nothing like this. I cannot believe how long it's taking for packages to get places, because she's in Denver. I'm in South Dakota, Sioux Falls, which is only 8 hours. I did the drive just a couple months ago, so I cannot believe that it took, what was it, 10 days? I don't know, but she finally got it, so I hope she's loving it. But I decided, because I was doing all the ink vents, that I just wanted to sit down and open them all up at once. And she did some really cool mixes, like this one, the Diamine Icy Rose Globe. It's got to have Diamine Snow Globe, but I don't know what else it has in it. I didn't have Sailor Manyo Ishii, and I really like it. And then this is another one that is a mix, and Colorverse Lucky Galaxy. These lucky ones, I have to have. This Lucky Cosmos is beautiful. And she gave me Mont Blanc's Enzo Ferrari Purple. That is a beautiful ink for one. That's a really expensive and limited edition ink, and you can't get it. So I'm so grateful. I did send her one like that too, so she'll be excited. But I'm not going to tell her what it is and what day it is. But I hope she enjoys it. Then Ink Institute's Ice Fog looks so similar to one of the inks in the color vent, and I'm worried that it won't get picked because it's Polar Nights. It's my favorite from the calendar, or one of my favorites. And so now I can order this from Gourmet Pens and be okay. And we got family photos. I don't normally show my family, but I'm so proud of these that I had to. They're also small pictures. But my son, I drew him back here. This was days, like this was over a week before this. And he's wearing, we got the pajamas for our pictures. None of us wore them except him. And then he stole my earmuffs a little while ago. So I had drawn this, and then he insisted that he had to have his earmuffs in the pictures. The photographer didn't want him to have his earmuffs in the pictures, which is silly because I think little things like that, they wanted to bring their stuffed animals. And so I let them bring their stuffies and his earmuffs, because that's part of who he is right now. And I feel like if we don't have that in photos, like, what are we doing? I mean, I wanted photos just so we had family photos. It wasn't about professional or looking beautiful. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just wanted pictures, so I want him to feel like he can express himself. So I made sure that the photographer knew that he can have them in pictures if he wants them. Also, she pulled out this like little squeaky toy, like my kids were babies, and was trying to like get them to look at this squeaky toy. I don't know. I was really unimpressed with her, but I am impressed with the photos. And I finished ink vent. We won't talk about that, but there's my thrush. Yes, I got it. And some of these I bought a digital sticker pack from Archer and Olive because I was in love with the stickers. And yeah, I am really enjoying this spread. This is Winter Pine by Dominant Industry. I put it in this guy, and I think he's cute. And it's my journaler nib. And I thought that Winter Pine was a lot lighter than what it is. I'm really liking it. I only have a sample of it. And then I have my Christmas gifts and Kidnapped Santa Claus and my new pen day. And you've seen those. So, or if you've watched the videos. I feel really, really less stressed now that I have finished the ink vent. And those videos, I'm editing the last couple, but it feels nice. I really enjoyed it. And now that I'm a couple days out of it, I actually really enjoyed both calendars. They're really, really fun, lovely inks. And I think there were only a couple that I wasn't a big fan of. So I think that's really nice to know that. And what's nice now is that I have friends and I have community members. So if there's an ink that you want to try and you just want to reach out to me, I know that this year I've been not great with ink and sending packages, but I've been working on it. And I think committing to sending out like a package a month in 2026 is going to be really helpful. So that's kind of what I'm thinking, at least for now. So just let me know. I will do my best to get a package out to you. There's a couple lovelies that we need to meet up and get our ink swaps. And I know that. So yeah, that is what I went through in my journal. And I've been really enjoying the Traveler's Notebook system. And it's kind of crazy because I'm going to talk about it in its own video, but it's just crazy how much I have, because this is my other sketchbook. I started it in July, and the only thing I drew was this. This was in July, and then this was, I think, September, a little bit. I'm not going to go through this and do a tour, but this right here was October. And so the first part of it was in October, because this was when I was in Denver with my friend. This was the one like little session where we got to sit down and just draw. But I think didn't pick this up again until, I don't know, mid-November. Well, this is October 31st. So I just randomly, but like the last couple weeks, I've really been in here, because I've just been loving having the portability of the size, because it was where I was switching from this to this, and I would have so much in my purse. But yeah, I did do I did do a couple things in here this week. This one. I think this is where we start here, because I think I showed you all this last week. Maybe I did. This is, I'm going to just show you again in case, but this is my friend's character in our princess game. I wanted to make her a sticker, so I did it, and then I threw it on my iPad, and I have my iPad right here. I could probably pull it up because I think the sticker turned out really cool. Let's see. But yeah, this is her character. We were facing our first boss in our game, and her character decided that she was just gonna like use this rage and just go at it, and just she went ah. So I had to do that, and this is how it turned out. I am really getting into my way I like to color on here, and I don't overthink it anymore. It was for a long time I overthought everything and spent so much time on like one image that I never finished anything. So it feels really nice to be able to say I finished it, and it was one that I could send to her. She has that fancy sticker printer cutter machine. It's like the Leanne thing. I don't know. It's like $300, but she has it where she can print and then it will cut out the sticker right on sticker paper. How cool. So I sent that to her. But then these are some ideas for my little George. If you've been watching in the ink vent, he is in my Diamine universe, and I just love him. He is the one that I did the stickers sheet for my son that I put up on KOFI. And for anyone who's bought those, thank you so much. I appreciate it. All of that goes back into the channel so I can continue to get ink and things. But I really appreciate it because it's just like, wow, there are people out there that actually want to buy my little files that are probably not the best, but I do what I can, and that you want to put these somewhere. It makes my heart happy. But I love this one, and I think this one needs to become an actual sticker, and so it is. And this it will be. I need to work on it. But this is a star redraw from one of my old sketchbooks. I just think he's so cute. And then we were just doodling, my son and I, and came up with a Bear Man croc. I don't know. He calls him BMC. I don't know what. I was just playing, and then I was having a sad, yeah. Oh, I was watching Jackalope Journals, and she was mentioning that her dad finished his first TN, and it made me sad because, dad finishing, and I was just really sad. So I am getting better at doing things like this. Like I did that whole page back here where I just felt my feelings with sadness. And I think this turned out awesome. I know people have mentioned before that they want this kind of thing for a sticker. So I am going to do these. I just needed to be out of that phase before I could do it. But I feel really great that I'm able to just feel it and then move on and let myself live in that moment for a minute. But yeah. He stepped on my stomach and gave me indigestion. Henry during a fight with Harry. This was the first ink that I had in my lovely Misty Bloom. So I did find out the platinum is called Mellow Green. It's a beautiful green, but I wanted Jane Eyre. So I finished this and put Jane Eyre in. So it's got Jane Eyre in it now. Yay. Makes me happy. And it's working lovely. And yeah. I don't think it's going to be a permanent pairing because I'm going to have to pick a different ink, but I do love that platinum. I'm surprised because it's a fine nib. And then this was just last night. I actually was watching some more Peanuts, and I was drawing Snoopy. He's Your Dog, Charlie Brown. It was a Peanuts classic on Apple TV. I mean, I've seen it how many times when I was a kid, but I paused it at some of his facial expressions because in this one scene, he had so many facial expressions. And I thought that was really cool how they, like, obviously Charles Schultz, but even the animators gave him so much expression with so little. And even like here, his nose, when he's drooping down. His mouth droops down, his ear droops down, his nose droops down. I just thought that was so cool because that is something they teach you, is to use those kind of things. But I just was like, oh, seeing it in action and pausing it and looking at it and studying it is really fun, at least for me. And then I was playing with some of my pens. The red is from the ink vent. The rest are not. Sailor Ink Studio 231 and 237 are very similar, but if you look at them closer, they are not as similar. Like this one's very purple and soft, and this one's bold and magenta, but I love them. And then this one is Kobe 57 and Kobe 62. And so I was having a lot of fun. And I thought last night when I went to bed, I was like, this is so dumb. What am I doing? And I actually really love this page now. You walk away and all the patterns and shapes. And I was playing with like doing ink with plaid. So I'd color in the circle and then you let it dry and then you add the next color. It turned out pretty fun, I think. I think it looks really fun. So yeah, I'll give you a close-up of that. So that is what I did in there in the last couple weeks. So not much, but enough that I feel like, okay, this is great. It's because I've been working in here and I have been doing a lot of Peanuts studying. And so this is the first volume and I have been going through it and look at how different Snoopy looked in the first volume. And this guy, I forgot his name, but he was in the comics and I don't think he was ever in the show. And then Patty is a character that shows up in the show, but she's kind of like an off character. But she and this guy were in it more at the beginning than Charlie Brown was, which I find interesting. But it's interesting to see where they first started. And so studying that has been a lot of fun. And so I have a lot of different things, but I've been actually doing comics. I'm so proud of myself. Actually getting comics out and on this. So I've done this one, which was building forts. And then this was some more studies from Peanuts. Like these were random. I found this random book. And then my son, because he's going through food therapy, we're having a rough time with him. So I was drawing him really upset. And then observation studies, just trying to pick things really fast. Like this is my oldest son, Henry. He was watching Bluey. And then this is my nephew, Alex. He was taking a quiz at work. So he was just sitting there like that. So I did these super fast. And I don't know how I did it so fast, but I did. Observations. And then, yeah. So just having a good time with all of that and playing around with my dogs in the style. Look at that. Look at Mo. Look at Mo. In the style of the original Peanuts. And yeah. And then playing with some princess stuff because I think princesses are fun. Okay, and talking a little bit more about the Peanuts, I mentioned I went to my library and I did an online library kind of request because they had a couple of these in stock. There are so many of these volumes. I think this is volume 3. Is it? I'm not sure. But they have all these different volumes from, this one's 1955 to 1956. And these are really, really cool. I would love to have all of them sitting on a shelf so I could pull them out at any time. But they're expensive and I don't need to have them because I don't know that I'm going through a Peanuts phase, but I will go through another phase soon because this is what I do. But I love the Peanuts. And I think watching Charlie Brown, the Christmas special Charlie Brown that I've watched every year since I was a kid. I used to watch Peanuts and read Peanuts and everything. I remember looking forward to the comic every week, and it was Peanuts and Garfield. Those were my 2 favorites. If they weren't there, I was really sad. But I decided that I was like, since I'm studying all of this is kind of a simple flat shape And it's really cool to go through this and see how much Peanuts evolved, because this is from 1956 and Hoopla actually had the first one. It's a bummer because I only have the Hoopla checkouts. I only have 6 for a month through my library, and then they go away, because it's not, it's what it is. But when you look at, the first volume of this Peanuts was 1950, and then this was 1955. And I want to talk about why this is important, because it just shows something to me, and this has really helped me. So this is the original, this is 1950, 1950 to 1952, but it's definitely early. Look at Snoopy. That is Snoopy. This is some random guy. I forget his name. I'm sure other people who are more knowledgeable remember his name. I know it starts with an S, but I can't remember exactly what it is. But that's the first year, 1950, and this is 1950 to 1952 is the first volume. So I think by this, then look at how Snoopy looks here. It's nuts how much he changed, and to the iconic Snoopy that we remember, or that I remember, he's so different. And the reason why I show this is that I have been reading from Charles Schulz, reading these and going through them just to kind of get the 4 beats that he does. Oh, okay. I just got that all over that. All right. So I've been reading the 4 beats that he does, because he does, most of his comics are in 4 blocks. So it's like a 4 beat of philosophical stuff or whatever he's, talking about and whatnot. And I've picked this up too from the library, and this is the Peanuts papers. So I'm gonna move my candle. I've been using a candle lately. They smell so great. It is just making me so happy. It was a thing that I picked up from another YouTuber, and I'll talk about her in a little bit. But I picked this up, and this was just one that I saw, and it's called the Peanuts papers, and it's just a bunch of different essays on how people saw Peanuts in their lives, or how it affected them, or was it George Saunders? Was George Saunders the boring one? No, it was Nicole Rudick, Space for Thinking. Sorry, I shouldn't say a boring one, but it was very scholarly about just where Peanuts went and all of that. But I am really enjoying this. This is what I've been reading this week in the mornings. I'll read one essay, and it's kind of nice because then what I'll do is I'll go and then read a little bit of the comic after, and then I'll watch a couple of the episodes of the movie or of the show. And my sons are really into the show too, so it's really fun. But there's that version of Snoopy that I'm so used to, but compared to what he looked like at the beginning, it's so interesting. And the reason I say that is because it has taken me out of being afraid of doing my comics and getting them down, because they are going to evolve and they are going to change, and that's okay. My characters don't have to be the exact same from one comic to the next, which is, it was very freeing. So that's a lot of that. And I am going into this next year wanting to do more comics, and I am very inspired, not just by Peanuts, but by other people's comics. There's so many out there. I'm trying to think of the ones that I've been into lately that I've been kind of following. I read graphic novels, and I always have. Sailor Moon, the manga was actually what I loved more than the TV show, even though everyone else loved the TV show. But just so many, and I think I would love to do a whole video on that. But it's been really freeing and wonderful to feel that while I'm doing all of this, because it's making me feel less afraid to make mistakes and messes and just do it and just get in there and be dirty and messy, and that's okay. There's something about that, and I hope that in this process of me discovering that, I continue to inspire people, because I tell you what, the comments I have gotten that I am an inspiration for people to doodle and just get in there and do it, even if it looks awful, that is what I want, because I have this belief that everyone can get better at art, and everyone is an artist if you want to be. And it's not a gatekeeping about who's good or bad. I tell my son this all the time. I've been drawing for 30 plus years. I've been drawing since I can remember. And I mean, I'm almost 40. So I have had at least 30 years to draw. And I have focused and dedicated study time, and I take classes and I do all these things. So yes, my skill is going to be higher. But I tell him all the time, you continue to practice every single day, you are going to get better. You are going to get better. You are going to get better. And that's what I tell him all the time. And so I love seeing how if he messes up, he doesn't just throw in the towel, he starts over. And that is exactly what we all need to do. I used to get so obsessive over the one drawing that my sketchbooks would have 3 pages in them, and you could see the eraser marks because I would sit and erase and erase and erase and erase and erase. I do not do that anymore. And one of the things I do is a lot, even in just like this book, is I draw with pen. And the fountain pens have been really helpful in that. Also, Rosie, I'm practicing some sticker sheets because I thought everybody's in love with her. So let's give her a sticker sheet, right? So Rosie here, I'm very inspired by my little ink vent thing. And it was just a slog. And my ADHD brain was telling me, stop, you don't want to do this. This is so much. But now that it's over, I'm really glad that I committed. But anyway, that is everyone can draw. And when you pull apart and learn the basics, it's a lot of fun. Okay, so like I mentioned, I have finished this guy, and he is done and over, and there is no more room. I mean, I could go back and like fill in some of these really blank spaces like right here, but I want to start a new one because I want to do this. So to do this, no, I want another place where I can draw, where I'm taking my little traveler's notebook. Excuse me. I just had a little bit of air bubbles. And I have these. Okay. Is this one? No, this one's my notes. Okay. In my beautiful red placeholder, I have these. So I have my Love and Trip. And I think this one's so cute. And this one came with my journal. And I actually have 2 of these because I bought a separate one. And I think they're great. And it actually comes with some of these blotter papers, which is great. But I also have just a plain MD that I could decorate the cover with. But I also have been doing a little bit of Frankensteining and making my own booklets lately. And so this one this is a sticker paper that I printed this on. And then this is a sticker paper as well to make the cover because it's a piece of bright red cardstock. And then I made it a little bit more durable by printing the sticker paper. And I just printed a whole pattern on it. And one second here. Okay, the soot from my candle is getting everywhere, so I had to put it away, and I will have to clean the wicks because I think they were getting too frayed on the edges, and now I've got wax on my table. Okay. But I don't want to get black marks everywhere because soot is, black. But this is, so this is sticker paper that I put, and then I stuck it on, and I have that little, I have a little scoring tool that I was able to make sure it didn't have any, what do you call it? Like the, air bubbles. So I feel very confident. I used my Weather Matte, cover or Weather Matte sticker paper. And yeah, it probably was not cheap to do that, but because I know that those sticker sheets are like 70 cents a piece. So the cover itself was like $2, but that's okay. What it has in it is I cut down from one of these pads in an A4 size, I cut down sheets. And so I have this one that has MD cotton paper in it. And I watched a YouTube video a few weeks back about bookbinding. So it's not perfect, but I binded it with stitching rather than the staples. And I keep going because I love the way, and it is a little smaller because I'm not perfect. See, I'll show you on this Love and Trip. It is a bit smaller because I'm not perfect, and I cut it down, and you can see that the edges. But this is my first TN that I feel happy about. And honestly, maybe that's why I should use this one, right? Because I would love to use this one, but I think this will be my one that I use after this, because this is the Love and Trip. It will be really great for February. So, and I know I'll probably have it done close to February, if not February. And maybe then I'll use my, actually use my red Traveler's Notebook instead of just using it as kind of a placeholder and a storage space for things that I use, but I'm not using right now. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense. But yeah, I convinced myself, and that's why I'm talking to all of you. But I thought it would be fun to try MD paper in one of these. And they don't make it. It's surprising that they don't make the cotton TNs. It's fun that I made my own, but I would also just like to buy one. And mine also does not sit down. So I want to just go ahead and get a little bit on the first page here. And so I'm trying to decide, where is my, here we go, mittens. This has the Diamine Inkment Forever mittens, the pigment ink. And I'm going to say this is my Traveler's Sketchbook 3. And I'm going to write that down here. I'm excited. Traveler's Sketchbook 3. Look at that. And I will do a full tour and talk about all of that one. Probably next week or the week after. I just want to space it out. I have a couple different videos that I want to finish for Inkvent. Like I want to do my top inks from Inkvent, and then I want to just show some of the comparisons. I think I'm going to do my top 5 and show comparisons of them. And if there's any ones that people want to request, I'm going to put that down too. So, Traveler's Sketchbook. Number 3. I think it's so fun. Oh, awesome. Traveler's Sketchbook. Number 3, and it was established. We're going to do these in block letters, because why not put established? You know, the EST, established December 20th, 2025. Oh, that's fun. Oh, I am still so excited about this. I have been using this all the time. Let's see. I've already refilled it once. This is the mittens. And I already refilled it once because it's the pink of my dreams for a pigment ink. I'm so excited. Yeah. And I'm going to put this is, and I know that they called them pigment, in the calendar. I am literally calling these Diamine Forever because that's exactly what they are. Diamine Forever mittens. And again, I want to show this because this makes me so happy. This is Kobe Light Rose. And when I get my video filmed, there is not going to be a surprise that Kobe Light Rose is going to be on my favorite inks of 2025. I discovered this ink at the end of 2024, and I just love this ink so much. And it's so sad because I have had such a hard time finding anything super close to it. And that works well, because Monteverdi's rose, Monteverdi's like pink rose or rose pink is very close, but it's not a well-behaving ink. And so I love this. Love that I have one. They are different. If you do look, they are different, but not much. Not much. And that makes me happy. This one is still superior, but the fact that I have this, that just, yeah, I've been just over the moon about it. So that was what I was really excited about. And now for the rest of this page to start off. First, I want to grab one of my underlays. I swear by these things. They make things so much easier to deal with. I want to do this, and I'm going to make the rest of this like a swatch page. I know that ink works well on this because I've used it before, but I think it would be really fun to show how beautiful ink swatches look on this. So I grabbed Vinta Serena, which has lovely chroma shading, and I'm just going to do a little bit of this right here. Yeah, there we go. I think that would be great. And then I've got this. Oh, I can already see the like undertones of the orange. I love this ink. And then put that away. What did I just had my paintbrush. There it is. And then I want to take a little bit right here and take some and do some fading out of it, because I love when how that looks sometimes. I just don't like to dip my paintbrushes in my own bottles. It's just a me thing. And I don't have, do they call them, what are they called? They're called ink misers. Somebody please explain an ink miser to me. I've heard it in a few videos. Like I know Simone talks about it, and I really want to know what it is, but I keep meaning to ask her and then I forget because I don't really know what it is. So somebody tell me, because maybe then I can use that. But yeah, look at that. You can already see it drying. How just beautiful. And now, which marker do I want to use? Because this has Yuki Usagi in it. And Yuki Usagi is a chroma shader. I do find that in my markers, zoom in. I do find that in my markers, they don't always show the chroma shading. But sometimes they do. Especially like this cotton. There's something about cotton paper that is just so great, because I think it absorbs things a little bit. But this works so well with ink too. The ink doesn't like feather and like bleed all over. I don't know if it ghosts. We'll look at the ghosting after everything dries. So I can't remember how well or not well. And then this is Yozakura, so I'll do a little of that too. I have been such a Yozakura fan. But I also wanted to use a couple of my supplies, because I have been using my sketchbooks in my traveler's notebook mostly with fountain pens, because it's just nice to take it on the go. But I've been getting back into my Neo colors a little bit more, and if you saw in that first one that I showed you today, my one that I just finished, my first page was all in Neo colors because I was playing with it. But this, what I love about this is that it does have a little bit of that grainy texture. So it's not completely smooth, so you can see, I love when you can see the texture in the crayon. It's just so much fun. And I'm gonna zoom in a little bit more. And I'm gonna do another crayon here. Yeah, I love that. I love when I can get that texture. So that's going to be exciting. I am probably going to play with that. I actually repurposed this Kaweco. This came with my premium nib, but I repurposed it because my Neo colors fit really nice in there. So then I can do that. Because I've also repurposed one for watercolor a long time ago. This actually I've had for a while. This is Beam Paint. And bean paint is made in Canada by an indigenous company, and they use all non-plastics. I was trying to think of the word, non-plastics, and I love their stuff is all handmade, and it's honey based, so you can have some issues there, but I love this paint. I don't use it all as often as I should, but I think I want to get it back out, but do some watercolor, because I think watercolor is going to work really great on this paper. Again, I haven't tested it, which I should have a long time ago when I'm using my little, yeah. I just love bean paint because they're soft colors. So this bean paint, because of the way that it's made, it will dry really light, and you need a lot of ink for it to, or a lot of paint for it to be super pigmented. And I just love that it's handmade by an indigenous company. Yeah, I really love bean paints, and they're starting to get, like, Blick carries them now, which is awesome for them. I think that's amazing because my friend, my lovely friend, got me into them a few years ago because she found them. And I just love the little cakes they come in. This is gouache by them. I love their gouache too. And so I wanted to try a little bit of it. And they have these beautiful shimmer colors that they use, like actual mica. I mean, I'm sure other companies do, but this is bar none the best I've ever seen. I think this one's like cub brown. Can't remember exactly, but it's so pretty and sparkly. And my friend has used it. She's used so many. They have Dreamer's Gold is what it's called. And I don't have my little cake pan in here of Dreamer's Gold. This one is rose gold, isn't this? Yeah, that's the rose gold bronze. But Dreamer's Gold, she's used so many of these little ones. So last Christmas, I got her one that they had a handmade turtle, clay turtle that they put it in. So yeah. And my other friend, I got into bean paints, and she ended up loving it so much that she bought the whole collection. I think it comes in this beautiful palette, and it's like $400, but she said, you know what, I don't treat myself ever. This is what I want. So I mean, some of us spend that kind of money on pens. Not talking about myself. Yes, I am. And some people spend it on watercolor, which is awesome because you have it forever. But yeah, this is their Mayan green that they had special edition. I had to get a color, get a cake of that. Oh, love it. Or half pan. They're half pans, but in their little things. So I love that. I love it. They actually use these Kaveco cases, and they sell little kits with them that come with a pen, which is awesome. So, I'm going to be excited about using watercolor in there. This is the watercolor is the big reason I wanted one of these, is because then I can use my watercolor a little bit more. I do like the way it looks on Midori paper, the regular cream paper, but I just wanted something different. And then my luminance pencils that are my babies, my loves. I wanted to test how luminance looks. And Sophie McPike, who's an artist and from Australia, and she has a wonderful YouTube channel. She talks about how in her sketchbooks, she really likes to make the first page swatches and messy so that it takes off the pressure. And I used to do like the welcome to this and make it all fancy, and sometimes I would overthink it. So I really liked the idea of trying a swatch page on the first page. Then you kind of see what supplies you're going and reaching for. That was a Holbein. This is Derwent's Light Fast. Oh, I just want to get back into using my supplies, and I've set them up so they're in really nice to-go packages. So now I can actually use them. And then, so I've done Holbein, Luminance, and here's my Prismacolors. Which one do I want to use? I think this one. I love Dahlia Purple. Dahlia Purple's so pretty. But I have my favorite colors of pencils in each, but they all have such a different texture, every colored pencil, if you're not a really big colored pencil person. And so I have like preferences for the times and the like phases I'm going through in my art. But then I want to do a little bit of this pen. This has the Sailor Ink Studio 123. So you can see how it looks in writing. Because I do color a lot with my pens, as you've seen. But I do write as well. And leave myself little notes in my books. And so. And I don't know why it is the MD Cotton, what it is about this paper, but it looks so cool with inks. And this one is a broad nib. Oh, that's not Sailor. This is, well, I mean, it literally is because Sailor makes them, but it's Kobe. Kobe 62 Nuno Beaky Lavender. And some papers don't show this, but let me show you. If you look closely, let me zoom in and then focus. Is it gonna show you? I don't know if you can see on the camera. I'm trying to get it close to the sun as possible. It's still kind of dark this morning, but right in here, this color does the coolest shading to this like magenta pink here and goes to blue. I love this ink so much. My Twisby's almost out, but I've had it in there for months and months. So, but that is what's really cool about this paper is that you can see this, and this is that Polar Nights. That's one of my favorites from the ink vent or the color vent calendar. So I'm going to put color verse. And I don't think that this is illegible. I think that this, you can see this color really well. This is an extra fine nib, which is not one I use often. Polar Night. And as it dries, what's so cool about this ink is it starts showing pinks and this like bright red. And it was really fun because to me, I know that Danielle over at My Dandelion Diaries said that it reminds her of like when snow is really dirty. But here in South Dakota, that's not what this reminds me of. It reminds me of those beautiful, and if you don't live here, and you've never experienced this, you need to get up north. North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, all these, Wisconsin, Wyoming, all of these prairie places where we have flat land for days. And look out after it has snowed and watch the sunrise. And I know that Karina Loves to Plan did her pen based on the winter sunrise up in Canada. But for us, there's those beautiful purples that I don't think her pen didn't encapsulate this purples, and it glows this beautiful red, like pinkish reddish, and that's exactly what Polar Night does as it dries. And I just love it. I just love it because it does. And I got a picture of it the other day, and I'm going to print it out, and I want to put it in one of my books because it just, yes, it encapsulated it so much. So if you got Color Vent, and you're not loving all the colors, please vote for that one because I want a big bottle so I can use it all the time. But otherwise, I will get just Ice Fog because, I mean, it's very similar, but it's not as bright pink. It's softer, which this just, yeah, it captures that glowing orangey sun that I love so much. Okay, so we've set up my Traveler's Sketchbook. I'm so excited. Look at that. Thanks for setting this up with me today, and I was able to chat with you about my thought process. But look at how that MD Cotton shows the ink. I mean, it is so cool. Whoops. It is just, yeah. And so it handled, and there's right here where there's a lot of ink pooling, it bled. But otherwise, I'm still going to be able to use this page to sketch on. I don't always, if you saw in my other one, I don't always sketch on the back side. It just depends on how I'm feeling and if I'm feeling like I want to or not. Because there were a couple pages in here. Like, I didn't color on the back side of this one. But I do, and I guess I did. So this is Nico Yanagi in the regular MD. So MD paper works really well too. Don't get me wrong. It's but it's got a different texture. So let me see. I'm going to show you. I think this will help to show you. But so it's got a different texture. This is the crayon. The crayon texture is what's really different. I love that I can have a little bit of this texture, but still have my fountain pens. I look for that. I've been looking for that in a sketchbook. Let's find the colored pencil page so you can see. Because I just love the way that the textures look. And let's see, because it would have been back here, because it was while I was in. Yeah, so this is the real difference right here. You can see how, because of the smooth paper, you can color and it doesn't have that sketchy, scratchy texture that I just love. As an artist, that's something I love. And it may be not something that you love, but when you're thinking about stuff like this, yeah, that's the biggest thing that I've noticed is there's nothing wrong with this. I love the way that this looks. This is all the colors that I got from Meiningers. Please correct me. That I got. These are Neocolors down here, but you can see that the Neocolors even looking different wise. Look at the textures that you get here compared to here. It's just flatter. It's just that this doesn't, what they call this is this has a smooth finish. It's just flat and smooth, which was one of the reasons that makes it great for fountain pens. It's also coated. This, I don't know if it's coated, but it must be, but this has a little bit of texture or tooth. If you look at it, I don't know if it's going to show up on camera. If you look at it, it's got like a texture to it. And that's the cotton in it is what gives us that texture. And so that's why, you know, when we talk about in the pen world, why paper matters for pens, that's the same thing in art. That's why if you're using watercolors and you're using just a regular sketchbook, you're not going to get the same kind of results as you do if you use the right paper. So when I'm looking at this stuff, I want to be able to use different media. I'm very much so a mixed media, which is all different types of things like colored pencil and everything. If you understand this, you're like nodding along. Yes, I'm an artist too, I get it. But I know that a lot of people come here for pen content and stationery content. So I want to explain that too. Mixed media is where like I'm using watercolor and crayon and marker and all these different things. And so I like to see how all my stuff works. And I do use other supplies as well, but these are my main supplies. I am just getting into gouache. So I did do like this gouache right here, which is the beam paint gouache is very different than regular gouache, I believe. Even the stuff that you buy from like the tube that reactivates, because there's two different types of gouache. I'm still learning about gouache, but it's very different. But I just wanted to see kind of how it could look. But yeah, I do think maybe in this one I'll use my beam paints more because I'm loving, you see how light they dry? It's so much fun. And then look at that mica. You see that? Oh, I love that. That Dreamer's Gold that they put in there. Dreamer's Gold is, oh, love it. Anyway, so there's that. And these are almost dry. And yeah, I didn't get any like super bleed. It just kind of has a little bit of ghosting. But okay, I'm excited about this. That is awesome. That's so exciting. I just want to stare at it. I love the way that Ink Studio 1 through 2, 3 shows up on this paper. And Polar Nights, you don't see as much of that reddish pink, at least when I colored with it. But you see that in the, what am I using for, you see in the regular MD paper, because that's what I was using for the ink vent. So yeah, anyway, I'm excited. Oh, okay. I made the right decision. So I can put this in my notebook here, my traveler's notebook, and have that for the next couple months. Yes. And then we'll move into the Love and Trip one after. And then after that, maybe I'll make another one of these. Maybe I'll do a video. Once I don't feel very confident in it. I followed a YouTuber here on YouTube, and I need to find the video again because I need to double check that I'm doing the stitches right. But she had like bookbinding 3 different ways. And if I find the video, I will tag it, but I didn't save the video. I should have, but yeah. And then I've got all this, and look at that. I feel really cool about making my own TN insert. It is a lot less daunting now that I've done it. And I did get some of the, I forgot what the paper is called, but, oh, okay. It starts with a C, and it's only on jet pens. And it's a 52 GSM. It's a good replacement for Tomoe River paper. And I know Hi Julia here was using it, and Micah Oatley sent me a letter on it. So if you remember what it was called, please let me know. But I can't remember the name. It's on jet pens, and I bought an A4 pack so I can make an insert with that because I thought that would be fun to just try out. Yeah, so that's ready to go, because then it's been wonderful this last month, because now I just take this to go with me, and this is ready. I have my journal when I want to journal. I have my sketchbook when I want to sketch. And then these 2 and this one sometimes. This one, so this is a set I bought, and I haven't used it completely all that much. I've used the Dahlia purple, which is funny because that's the one I grabbed. And I think I've used the green. Yeah, I haven't used many of these. But this one I got a few months back when I was looking for Celadon green. It said online that this had Celadon green. It did not. But I finally got that color in Meinigers. But this one, I do swap out the colors. So right now, this is the color palette I have. And then I will move around colors in here and switch them out. I switch them out every month for whatever color scheme I'm using with my pens, so it matches. And then these are my Neo colors. And so these all just kind of hang out in my purse or my to-go backpack. And I think now I usually have a watercolor palette, but I think maybe I'll use my Beam one. And then I have a water brush that I have in there. So this is how I travel with all of my art supplies, is I make them small, and then I have 1,000 pens with me too, because I have to have 1,000 pens. I'm not me if I don't have 1,000 pens, right? Okay, like this, I did want to show. This is a lot of my travel stuff because I've been going a lot of places the last couple weeks with holidays and whatnot, and then I start work again, and I want to be ready. I start work January 5th. Oh my goodness. But this is I've talked about this. This is my Kokuyo Hakobiz. I want to get the purse. Like, there's a purse that this sits in, and I ordered it off of eBay because it was where I could find it, and then they canceled my order. So hopefully I can find it. If not, I guess I won't have it. But I really like that tote, and I think that tote will help me stay organized. But I'm switch things out. Right now I'm on a TWSBI kick. And so I have all my TWSBIs like I always have them. I always have them all inked for the most part. And that's so I can play around with colors. And if I really like a color, you can always tell I really like a color because 1, I put it in my TWSBI, and 2, my TWSBI gets emptied really fast. And so there's my pencils. This is my favorite pencil ever. This is my Leuchtturm Dragrifel. I don't know if that's how I pronounce this, but this is my Leuchtturm pencil. It's a number 2 pencil. It is a mechanical pencil that was not cheap, but you can put your lead in it somehow. I can't remember. I don't know if you can put your lead in that way. I haven't had to put lead in it yet, but I have this one. This one just permanently stays in my Hakobiz here. I have this in my Hack-O-Biz. And then this permanently stays in my Hack-O-Biz. And you can see on the bottom, inks have been already, you know, whatever. But those stay in. This right here is a randomizer table that I just keep in there. So if I decide to play my solo RPGs, I have that. And then I have my dice in here, a little mini stamper, because sometimes I throw some mini stamps in here. And then I use my markers. I use these, or I use my Tombow Lumos, and these all have brush pens. I leave these in here. These stay in here as well. Those stay in there. And then I got my little mini dice. So I've got these mini dice in here. I picked up the like set of all the different dice like this. I picked those up in Denver at the Wizards chest. So I got that. And then I got this recently, and so I have just been putting this in there because I really like this. I'm going to be very sad when this is gone, because this is really nice to put your dates for the week. And so I hope that Coffee Monster Co. restocks that, because that will be nice. But these are all my diamonds, Diamond 580s. I think I have a couple more. I know I have my iris, which is right here. But I've been using my iris a lot because it's got Dot Gokoro in it. Or is that all my diamonds? I think that might be all of them. I have some minis, diamond minis, but I think that's all my Diamond 580s. Okay. So I'm not crazy on Diamond 580s yet, but that's also because they don't have 1,000 colors. But I found a new way to travel with my Twisbies, because I love my Twisbies. They are my pride and joys. I've talked about this a few times. I dedicated my own video to it. But this is, Hoo alcohol marker little case that I kept thinking, you will use this someday. And once in a blue moon, the things that you keep that you will use someday, you actually do. Do I recommend that, keeping things all the time? No, do not hoard. But this came in handy, which I was really excited about, because I moved all of my Ohuhu markers into this like plastic art case, art bin brand, or whatever that brand is. But it has all of my alcohol markers, and now my son has stolen my alcohol markers, which is fine because I don't use them that often. But I have this case, and so I found that my Twisbies fit in here really well. And I shudder to think, if I were to lose this case somewhere, how much these Twisbies are worth. But I knock on wood. This is real wood. Knock on wood. I have yet to lose anything, and I think I would be devastated. But they all fit in here really nice. There's a couple that don't, which is fine because I don't need this many pens. But I am one of those overthinkers, and when I am out and about with anxiety, I have extreme social anxiety. I've fought and worked with it, so I find things that work for me. This just knowing, even if I never pull it out, just knowing that this is in my purse, and if I don't have a color in the like 6 pens that I'm bringing with me, I will have it in my Twisby collection, makes me like not have a panic attack, which is what happens. I do get panicky when I don't have the supplies I need, because I use this stuff as such a crutch. Like when I'm anxious, I pull out my sketchbook. So like the traveler's stuff is really helpful. So this is what I have, and you can see like this one. I don't think I ever showed this on the channel. This is pink. It looks pink, right? I used paint, and I painted it, and then I put resin over it, and I don't love how it turned out, but at the same time I do, because it's still a usable pen. So I don't know if I would do it again, but I tried it. Somebody had painted theirs with nail polish, so I thought I'd try painting it, and I painted it with acrylic and then used resin to bond it like Shauna showed me. I guess it's not too bad, but I think it's the top that just didn't work out. But you have to like pull this part off, or like use a screwdriver to take this off and this off, and it's a pain, so I'm not going to do it again. But I wish TWSBI would release a pink pen, but they said they're not going to because pink apparently doesn't sell. So I'm disappointed in their lack of willingness to give us a pink pen. But they did right here. So whatever. Okay, that's beyond the point. Brr. This is what I'm doing right here. So my TWSBIs all go in here. They make me happy. Then I have them. I feel a sense of safety and calm. Blah, 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 blah. There. So that's one thing that I don't always take this with me, but I have been lately when I'm feeling anxious about my new setup because I'm trying to bring less with me. Because, where did I put that? I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. But I picked this up at Van Ness. And this is a Rickshaw 6-piece pen set or pen case roll. And I love it. I have the fabric, the inside fabric. I ordered some of my own because I have plenty of stuff for myself. I just can't get to my machines right now, but I want to make a couple that are Kaveco sized, and I just want to do it myself because I have the fabric. But I do like the Rickshaw cases, and what I like is that I can take this and pick 6 pens, and that's it. That's what I'm taking with me. And so having the TWSBIs gives my brain a sense of like less stress, but then I have the pens that I know I'm going to use. And so I'm really picky on those pens, and I sometimes spend a little bit too much time figuring out which ones I want to bring. But that's why I'm trying to get it down to you only have this many pens inked for a month besides your TWSBIs. And so I'm trying to get there. I'm still struggling with that. And sometimes I will pack this too. This is another Rickshaw. Sometimes I will pack this too, but I'm really trying to get down to this. I could just pack this, but this has space for like 10 pens. I've fit a lot of pens in here before. So yeah, that is all of that and what I'm thinking about and what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to just get set up for the next year and get through the holidays. They're really tough right now, but that's what's going on here over in my life. I always think that I don't have that much to talk about and that I didn't really do that much, but I do. All those little things all week add up. And it's also been 2 weeks since I have filmed one of these. So I guess I was trying to catch up and figure out what I've shared and what I haven't. All right. Anyway, that is everything for today. I know that, my brain sometimes feels like I have no idea what I just said. So I hope that you enjoyed this. I would love to hear what you've been doing. Chat with me down in the comments. Again, I am insanely over this holiday stuff. Holiday seasons just stress me out. And I love the lead up to it, but then like actual December is not very fun for me. But it's also funner now than it was when I was running my own business. And I think I still feel that sense of I have to be stressed. So I don't want that. So I don't have that now. But yeah, I appreciate you being here. Let me know how your December is going. Yeah, this is the first year without my dad, and we're doing okay. I may not be doing okay later when I see the pictures of him, but I'm getting through, and I'm grateful to have you all here wanting to spend your Saturdays or whenever you watch this, because I film most of these videos I film on Saturday mornings, but I also just I just appreciate all of you. The comments, I read every single comment. Even if I don't respond, I am reading every single comment. Sometimes my brain tends to shut off and then I forget to reply, but I am replying with smiles and I'm replying in my head even if I don't reply to you. I just appreciate it. I can't believe like this many people love this video, and I love doing these videos. I also just love this channel, and I love being here. I love the community. It's been so wonderful to have this, and it's kind of one of those things that feels so routine, especially this video, where I feel off for a week if I don't do it, and it's just a joy. So yeah, that's all of that. I will see you in the next one. There are some fun videos I have planned. I always have fun videos planned, and half of them I don't get to. So just be on the lookout for the next one, and I will chat at you later. Like, comment, subscribe, you know all the things. And yeah, if this is the last video you watch of mine before your holidays, have happy holidays. Enjoy this slow December, if it's slow for you, I hope. But yeah,